Hello, today we'll be talking about the concepts of skews. And here we have positive, negative, and symmetrical skews. Now, you might wonder, what are skews? What does this all mean? But don't worry, because we will talk about it today. Here is the first example of a positive skew. In this graph, you can see the survey about incomes, and it ranges from 20K to 100K. In this graph, you can see that majority of the people earn around this amount, while fewer people earn around this amount. Here you can see that there's a longer right tail and a shorter left tail. This means that this is a positive one because the mean is greater than the median. You can see that the mean is in the middle, but here is the median. And this means that it skews mainly to the right. The majority of the people, the median, is closer to the first quartile. And here is an example of the negative. In this example, we look at exam scores. Let's say that most of the class scored high. They scored 80 to 100%, whereas fewer, well, some people, they score lower, 50 to 70. The median here is closer to the third quartile because this part is the higher part, whereas this part is the lower part. Here, the mean is lower than the median. And here is an example of a symmetric. This means that there is no skew. The tails are the exact same. Say there's a score from 0 to 100. It will be around 50. The left and right tails are similar, and the mean would equals the median, and the median would equal the mode.
And now I'll be talking about mean and median. Mean is when you add all numbers and divide by how many numbers there are. An example is if you have the numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, you will add all of them up to get 30. Then you divide by how many numbers there are. In this case, there's 5 numbers. Your answer will be 6. This indicates that it's an average within a set of numbers. This can be used for test scores or for anything that you want to find an average. The median is what is known as the middle number. For example, if you have the numbers 3, 2, 5, 6, and 10, and 1, you will line them up from least to greatest. The two middle numbers, you would add them and then divide by 2, which in this case you get 4. If there is no 2 middle numbers, then you would eventually just have 1 middle number, and that would be your median. Now Abigail will talk about how these are being reflected onto graphs.
Hello, this is Abigail, and in this final part of the video, we will be analyzing the positions or where the mean, median, and mode fall in a type of distribution. This bell curve is called a normal distribution. This is where the mean, median, and mode are always in the same position. They are in the middle as they are measures of middle. In a skewed graph, that is when the dataset is more heavily concentrated on the bottom or the top of a graph, the mean, median, and mode are not positioned the same. In this first example, we're looking at a positive skewed graph, where the mode is at the peak of the graph and the mean is after the median. But why are the mean and the median positioned differently? This is because the mean is susceptible to distortion or affected by and pulled by the direction with extreme outliers. To demonstrate how non-resistant the mean is to an extreme outlier, imagine this is a graph of the average salary per year of various jobs. We can have teachers, psychologists, and pop stars. If we were to include a pop star such as Beyonce, her salary would be so grand around $136.5 million. The mean would be, of course, impacted by such great number compared to the salaries of a teacher or a psychologist. For this reason, we see the mean closer to the end of the graph, with Beyonce as the one individual with great earnings. As opposed to a positively skewed graph, a negative skewed graph has outliers in the bottom of the graph, meaning the concept and position of mean, median, and mode is very similar, just flipped. The mode will be on the peak of the graph, and the mean will be pulled to the side of the distribution with the outliers. And the median would be in between mode and mean. A quick example would be having to measure hair loss in Americans. The outliers can be those with extreme cases of hair loss, compared to most Americans in the population of America that have normal to good hair health. The mean would be susceptible to an outlier and thus be positioned before the median and mode. Because the mean is more susceptible to outliers, it makes sense that the median is more appropriate for understanding or finding a better representative value for the center when having a skewed distribution. When majority of scores are centered or concentrated on one side of the mean. The mean is only more appropriate when observing and analyzing a normal distribution where the middle score are close to the exact center of the distribution. So a better index of middle in a normal distribution can be mode, median, or mean, as in this case they all equal each other. In both a negative skew and a positive skew, the median would be the better index of middle. And there's Beyonce. I don't know why. Mean and mode. The better index of middle for a positive skewed graph would be the median. Again, because it's not susceptible to outliers and gives a better representation of the graph's data. Thank you, and hope this was helpful.
Hi there, my name's Ollie. I did editing for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I guess that's it. Till next time.